Hello everybody, my name is Cameron Earl and today I am here and I am going to, since my opinion has changed a lot, I am going to, hang on a second, what is happening? The fudge? Wait, what's happening? Hang on, I'm done? My iPad that I'm using for this, it's for the list for school. It's an iPad I got from school, it's messing up, hang on. Okay. I am back with another Villainous ranking video. And this time, I'm not just going to rank like Disney by itself or Marvel by itself. We're doing all 35 villains from Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars collectively. I think I did a ranking system that was a little bit more official. I picked up one of the villain movers, looked at it, picked up another character, and whether I put it on this side or this side, depending on if I liked it more, and then I did the same thing for like each character under and above that character until I got a good ranking. Most of the time I just eyeballed them. So, yeah. And especially after Star Wars and the new Venom set came out, my opinions have definitely changed. My top 7 will go, says there's 35, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Bottom 7, another 7, another 7, another 7, and then my top 7 will go here. So, let's start off with the bigger and badder box tier, which are my least favorite ones. And no, the order of the box does not represent how much I like that set. It's just, I picked up some boxes and stacked them up. Didn't really care what boxes I used. So the bottom of my list has changed, but not by much. The bottom of my list, my least favorite, actually comes from this bigger and badder set, and that is Lotso, the bear who smells like strawberries. Honestly, he's not fun. I had fun with him at first until I realized, like, how bad his fate deck is. I think Lotso might have the worst fate deck in Villainous, period. And the problem is that he needs 4 heroes to win, but he only has 4 heroes. So after that, the rest of his deck just turns into, like, a Gaston way where everything basically resets you, and a lot of the time it feels literally impossible to win, because it might just be. Lotso is very difficult, and after a while of having this bigger and badder set now, I am not a fan whatsoever, and I think they definitely could have done something better. I know that they couldn't include some of the characters from Toy Story 3 because of copyright issues, but I still think that they could have included more than 4 heroes so his whole fate deck didn't just, like, reset a whole step in his gameplay. Because it just takes him way too long to do anything, especially with that. His fate deck. Okay, next spot hasn't changed that much either. I don't know if last time I ranked these, I don't think he was, he definitely moved to the bottom of my list, but I don't know if it was after last time I ranked him, but before last time I ranked villainous characters on this channel. Either way, though, who used to be my least favorite is now number 34, and that is Gaston. Gaston, I did like when we first got on, but it was definitely new bias, probably. Like, the fact that it was new. The problem with Gaston is that they could have just done so much more with him. So much more. Yeah, the main problem with him is the fact that they didn't even include Belle in his goal, which is his whole purpose in the movie. But they, all they did was they had him remove his 8 obstacles. And his 8 obstacles, you're just playing the same cards over and over again. And Gaston and Lotso's fate deck are like the same, and where they can basically reset the whole game for you. Pretty much. I just think Gaston is a little better at this point because his fate deck isn't so entirely brutal. because he doesn't take as long as Lotso does to win. The only problem with Gaston is that he needs a lot of power, but if you're risky enough, you can get power faster. Okay. Next character on the list here, let me see. This next character is, to probably no one's surprise if they see my other ranking videos, Queen of Hearts. Honestly, I didn't even think this villain was good in her own movie that the animated Alice in Wonderland. She wasn't even good. She was in the last 15 minutes. Definitely not a character I would have recommended including in the first set of Villainous, at least. If she was a character in an expansion, I mean, she probably would have moved up like 2 or 3 places on this list. But no, she was in the first set. And honestly, the first set, just, like, they didn't do much creative stuff with their, characters. I say the two most unique characters in that set are definitely Queen of Hearts and Ursula, simply because Ursula has a whole lock token gimmick, and Queen of Hearts can turn her cards sideways. Pretty much it. Queen of Hearts definitely, I don't think, deserved to be in the first set, being that she, I don't even remember any of her scenes from the animated movie, and I've seen that movie twice now. And I don't even like the movie that she's in. I am not a big fan of that Alice in Wonderland old movie, the old animated one, because it's just so boring. And she's just so easy. Her win condition, she could just win right off the bat. Not like at the start of the game, but you can be doing so bad and then just pull a win out of Uranus like that. And it's just, it can surprise them, yeah, and it used to be fun to do. But then I realized, her fate deck isn't all that bad against her. Her fate deck isn't that brutal, but if you get Alice mixed with the Dodo, then you're gonna have some problems. I was just playing the Queen of Hearts last night against no, not last night, I mean, last week against why did I say last night? I was confused. And that happened to me, Alice and the Dodo. And I lost because of that. So, definitely some ways that you can mess up Queen of Hearts. But anyways, I don't want to dwell on this character too much more because she's just not good. Next character on my list, I used to have him higher, actually. Next character on my list is Prince John. First of all, love the movie that he's in. Definitely not in my top 10 Disney movies, but it's a little lower than that. Robin Hood's a good movie. But we're focusing on the villain. And the villain was definitely somewhat of a highlight for that movie. But where his goal comes in is that he's one of the perfect beginner characters. There's multiple beginner characters. I say that some good beginner characters in the first set would definitely be Captain Hook and Prince John. Those two specifically. Prince John teaches you basically how to conserve power. And at the same time, when the first set came out, everyone, and even, I seen this because I got into this, I got my first Villainous set about 2 weeks after Evil Comes Prepared came out, the Scar set. And everyone was still calling Prince John the easiest character to win with. But if you play him in 2-player, he's actually quite difficult to win with. He takes a long time. And a lot of times, especially with the people I play with online, they won't fate Prince John unless he has a lot of power, because one of the ways that Prince John can actually win is having heroes on his board. He can definitely use his heroes for power. He has cards to do that. More than one card to use the hero for power in some way. But yeah, there's just not much of this character other than conserving money, and he's always been the vanilla character of Villainous. Just boring, plain, straightforward, beginner character, not that fun, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Next character on the list is Maleficent. I mean, this character, yeah, I don't like playing Maleficent because she's just, like, kind of boring. But most of my hate doesn't really come out of, like, how boring she is. It actually comes out of how disappointing this is. Like, she is the face of the first Villainous set, and they did nothing with her. Now, I don't know how exactly you incorporate what she does in the movie into a goal, because, honestly, for how famous she is, she's not really in the movie that much. And she doesn't do that much other than, curse a little girl, and then kill the little girl. But, I feel like they could have incorporated it in a better way, other than just playing curses, but I get where they're coming from. Like, how do you do something like that? How do you, how do you incorporate that into a goal? But still, just wish they would have done more with the face of Villainous, and she's honestly just disappointing, and she's also not fun to play, like, at all. Moving up next is a character that I thought I would have higher, but I just can't. It's Yzma. This freaking character. She is so tedious. I always get the worst luck with Yzma. Kuzco, I always find Kuzco in the last deck I look in, and then when I get him, I don't have enough time to get rid of the on the run card, which could put him back. And there's just so many Beware the Grooves, there's that you could put the heroes back with. There's just so much stuff. And she's another one who can just pull a win out of nowhere like Queen of Hearts can. But at the same time, she's just meh. Pretty much it. She's just boring. But one character who is... But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. She's just not fun for me to play. One character who has moved up from the last spot. She used to be my least favorite, period. And she surprisingly moved up. And that is Ursula. Yeah, definitely probably the biggest change in my ranking is moving Ursula all the way up here. I don't even know. I don't know where to start with Ursula. She's, I never liked her gimmick, but I did play as her sometimes, and I did pull out a few wins with her, and I learned how to better myself with the character, and now I like her a little more because I had practice, but at the same time, she's still garbage. Don't want to play her. Goodbye. Now, that is the bottom 7, and as you see, there is a lot of characters from the first set, here. But, I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing another one for a while. Because the other two in the original set I do like. Now, we're going to get on to 28 to whatever. 28 to 21. Getting this next part on. My next character on my list is Killmonger. Finally doing something. Finally, a character who is not Disney. Oh, poor Killmonger. He's just... Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this character. Honestly, he was really easy at first for me to win with. And then I discovered how to use, how to fate him properly. And now he's really easy to screw over whenever someone plays him. And he's just not great. He's also kind of boring. But I'll give it to his mover for being cool, I guess. But yeah, honestly, just not much here. He does have multiple steps. Never put him against Hela. Hela will destroy him. She can bring back Black Panther, she can bring back Black Panther with a fate action. And then being that you have to defeat him, she'll just mooch off you for soul marks. So yeah, if Hela against Killmonger is pretty much a guaranteed win. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Killmonger. He's just the black sheep of Marvel Villainous for me. I don't really pay attention to him. I don't really play him that much. And honestly, he's just kind of boring to me. Okay, next we have here is Kylo Ren. Oh boy, Kylo Ren. This guy. So I was actually the most excited for him. I wasn't the most excited for him out of like the characters that were in the set, but I was most excited for the way he plays because his goal was actually the only goal that didn't get revealed when they revealed all the goals for Star Wars Villainous. So I was curious on what his goal is going to be, and his goal is to commit to the dark side. He had kind of like a tug of war thing. It seemed a little bit like Gaston. But then I was like, well, he might be like Mother Gothel. He might be that kind of tug-of-war game. And then I played him and I realized he's just like Gaston, but better. The biggest problem with Kylo Ren is that, like, 3/4 of his whole deck is played with ambition. He hardly needs power, and it just drags along. And like I said, he's like the Gaston of Star Wars Villainous. He's just... his whole fate deck's against him. However, he is not as brutal as his fate decks aren't as brutal as these twos up here. I did look at when Star Wars Villainous came out, my Facebook group of Disney Villainous that I'm in. It's not my group, but I joined it. They were like, ooh, they were all talking like, yeah, we hate Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's the Gaston of Star Wars Villainous, and yeah, he's just fun. Love the villain mover. Wish I could play him more, but he's just like the fact that you're just going to be discarding and discarding because you draw cards that are played with credits. Most likely you won't need to use them. So you'll just be discarding and then playing tug of war, playing the same cards, much like Gaston. What I've realized with Killmonger is that either you draw Snoke and win, or you don't draw Snoke and lose. Pretty much that's what I got from Kylo Ren. Yeah, definitely wish he was better because I was excited, not for the character, but for the playstyle of the character. Okay, next one we have up here is one that was definitely higher for a while, and that is Syndrome. Oh, poor Syndrome. Honestly, he's fun. I was going to say, he is fun to play, but if you fate him over and over and over again and get all those heroes, it's pretty much impossible for him to win. He is a fairly difficult villain to win with simply because if you just keep fating him and putting heroes, then he's going to lose. Because that remote might get taken. And he can't win if any heroes are on his board, so it's honestly just really difficult. And of course, probably the most unfair fate card in the game is in Syndrome's fate deck, and that was totally wicked. The card that discards all allies and items on his board, and it could just, like, you could get rid of all your major modifications that you need, and you'd have to go back through your whole deck to find them again, and it's just really bad. Definitely, like, I'll be having fun, and then that card gets played on me, and suddenly the whole mood of the game changes, and I just want to end the game. I just want to not play Cinder no more because of that card. Let's see here. Okay, so we are finally finishing off a set, and that is going to be the bigger and badder set with Madame Mim coming in at, number 25. I definitely think that I'll need to play this character more before my ranking finally changes on where she's at, but she's kind of a mixed bag. I can have fun with her, and I could win with her, but the RNG of it just drags this character way down for me, because you can have a good game with Madame Mim, or you don't. And let me move these back real quick. But if you have a good game with her, then you like her. But if you have a bad game with her, it's definitely, most of the time, the randomness of it. And she's just that mixed bag. Definitely, probably the character of Villainous that relies the most on luck. But, yep, that's where I'll leave her at. Sadly, next here we have another Star Wars Villainous character in Asajj Ventress, the one who used to be my least favorite when I first got the set. She's definitely moved up because I've definitely gone better with her. But like 3 out of her 5 missions are like not that great to do. And honestly, she's so difficult to win with. I wouldn't say she's on the same level of difficulty to win with as Kylo Ren, but she's definitely up there. Her and Kylo Ren are pretty much evenly matched. And there's another, but Now I don't even think that they're the most difficult to win with in Star Wars Villainous. I think another character holds the title of most difficult to win with in Star Wars Villainous. She's just that character that you either have fun with her and you don't, or you don't. And if you do, good for you. But the game can just drag and drag and drag and drag, and nothing will be happening, and then you do a mission, and then the other character wins, and you're like, okay, well, I didn't draw the appropriate cards and stuff like that, but nevertheless, I can have fun with her. I just don't play her as much as the others, and she ranks down here. Who used to be my favorite in the set that he is in is no longer my favorite in the set that he is in, and that is Horned King. Someone I really wish I could love because he has my favorite villain mover in Villainous, period. Sorry, Venom. Your villain mover is amazing, but it still has not topped the Horned King's villain mover. But his character design is just so freaking frustrating. Hang on. Oh, crap. I gotta go. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. There will be a part 2 of this today. Bye-bye.